I won't let my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis symptoms define me.
Emerge as you. In 2 clinical studies, Tremfya guselkumab, taken by injection, provided 90% clearer skin at 16 weeks in 7 out of 10 adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. In a study, nearly 7 out of 10 patients with 90% clearer skin at 16 weeks were still clearer at 5 years. At 1 year and thereafter, patients and healthcare providers knew that Tremfya was being used. This may have increased results. Results may vary.
Serious allergic reactions may occur. Tremfya may increase your risk of infections and lower your ability to fight them. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms of infection, including fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough. Tell your doctor if you had a vaccine or plan to.
Emerge as you. Learn more about Tremfya, including important safety information at tremfya.com or call 1-877-578-3527. See our ad in Food and Wine magazine. For patients prescribed Tremfya, cost support may be available.
I'm Eli Drinkwitz, and this is Like a Farmer.
Hey y'all, it's Pat. Welcome to another episode of Like a Farmer. As you can see, I'm back here at Maple Ranch. I'm staying consistent with my guest. That consistency is the SEC. Today's guest on the show, SEC Head Coach of the Year, Head Ball Coach of the Mizzou Tigers, Eli Drinkwitz. Coach, thanks for coming on today.
Pat, in all my life, I never thought I'd be at Maple Ranch doing a podcast with Like a Farmer. So it's really been an amazing year, and for this to happen, pretty honored and appreciate the opportunity to be here.
I am too, and you just hit on it. I'm excited to get on today with it, but what an amazing year you've had this year. 11 wins, and a few weeks ago, you go to the Cotton Bowl and you beat the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. How does that feel?
Man, it's I don't know, the whole season has been surreal, honestly, to go from a situation where there was a lot of chatter about job security and whether or not I was the right person to get it done, for our team to really ignore that, really embrace each other, embrace the brotherhood, ignore the noise, and go out and have a remarkable season has been a lot of fun. To be able to come out here, this is really the first time I've been able to just kind of decompress. Yep. You're sitting in a duck blind, processing thoughts in between shots, and it's been like, wow, we really did it. So pretty exciting. Now it's transitioning to, I was sitting in the duck blind this morning thinking about, okay, what do we got to get done
now it's back to work.
Now it's back to work. Now, all right, what's our D-tackle board look like? What's our process for January recruiting? How do we make sure we're continuing to push forward? So a lot of cool things happen, and now you're pushing towards what's next.
Totally. And you said something there, and I want to go back to it. And you go into a duck blind, and that's kind of your piece. Mm-hmm. So we started Like a Farmer a couple years ago now, and it's to celebrate rural America and educate the people about rural America. Mm. So when you think about rural America and celebrating the outdoors, I mean, people like you who, at the end of the day, have to stay on 24/7. Yeah. You don't have a ton of bye days because you damn sure don't have any bye weeks. Like, what does being outdoors mean to you? Because it kind of gives you your time to decompress and not have a phone on you.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that was the best thing for me. These things are attached to us 24/7, transfer portal, recruiting, different things that are going to go on as the head coach. I mean, I left it in the clubhouse and went out there and didn't deal with it for 4 and 5 hours at a time, and I needed that. You know, what's that old Tim McGraw song? Get right with my soul.
Oh yeah,
you know, so that's kind of what I needed. You know, to just get back right with my soul and remember who I am and where I came from, and don't let the stage or the lights change what this thing's really about.
That's awesome.
I think, you know, just being like a farmer, you got good seasons and bad seasons. You got to think like a farmer and continue to remember that you reap what you sow, and you can't get too high and too low, and you just got to keep going. You know, we have a saying in our program, Elite Edge. Edge is an acronym for energy, details, grit, and emotional consistency. But the last two, grit, you know, that stubborn refusal to quit, reminds me of the life of a farmer. You know, my father-in-law was a farmer, and then that emotional consistency of trying to be consistent every day in who you are. I think those two things really, when you're out in the outdoors, those are two characteristics that really you have to have.
Dude, that just gave me chills. I mean, holy, you talk that right there, Coach gets it. I mean, you just compared all of those life things to being like a farmer, and that exactly is why I wanted to start this show, and that's why you're on the show today. I want to back up. Alma, Arkansas.
Yeah.
That's where you're from.
Yep.
Spinach capital of the world, or?
That's what they say.
Okay.
I don't even, I lived there, grew up there. I never even saw a spinach farm, so I'm not sure. I think it's one of those things like recruiting, you just kind of throw out and you hope nobody really fact checks it.
Yeah.
But it says that on the water tower. It's still painted up there.
Well, there you go.
Spinach capital of the world.
That's awesome. Family is
Yep.
very important to you, and I want to hit on a couple things when you think about family. So obviously, wife, 4 kids, correct?
Yeah, 4 daughters.
4 daughters.
Yeah.
So only man in the house. Huh?
Yeah.
How was that?
Good days and bad days.
Yeah.
Good days and bad days. I wouldn't change anything. Obviously, there's always, when you're getting going, you're thinking about having a boy, and that wasn't what God did for us. But man, I wouldn't change it for anything. Those girls are really special to me, and it's cool, for me to go to work and be around so many men and testosterone, to be able to come back and chill and have that, princess vibe and Taylor Swift and Swifties and all that stuff.
Are you a Swiftie? Would you call yourself a Swiftie?
I would not call myself a Swiftie, but I'm kind of baptized into it. Because that's all my girls talk about. I thought that was kind of done. I mean, Tim McGraw's song was when I was growing up.
Yeah.
And now we're back in. So, it's been crazy. But no, family's super important to me. One of the coolest things about the job at Mizzou was it was finally the first time my family could feel settled. My daughters are now growing up in a hometown. And that was so important for me and my wife. We were high school sweethearts growing up, having a very stable place. And now my daughters are getting to experience that, and that's really cool. Because in this profession, man, you're never quite sure where your next job's going to be or how much stability you can provide a family. So for us to be able to do that at Mizzou right now is really cool. Yeah,
and you just hit on it. Like, everybody's talking about Kelsey and Swiftie, but the Drinkwitz love story. I mean, high school sweethearts. You're a football player.
Yeah.
She was a cheerleader.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't write a better book than that. That's what people need to be talking about.
Yeah. So here's when I knew I wanted to marry her. She was named Miss Alma High School,
Ooh,
and
nice.
I was in the crowd, and I was like, yeah, that's the one. She was a year older than me. Me and her brother were really good friends, teammates, and I didn't know if he was going to let me date her or not, but I paid him $20. He put in some good words for me. Had to get her to break up with her boyfriend, and
my dog, I like that,
it worked
man. There
out.
you go.
Went to college together, got married after college, and I'll say this: she's really the only reason we're in college football. We were a high school coach. I was a high school coach. She was a teacher. We had a 2-month-old daughter. Gus Malzahn flies in and offers me an opportunity to go be a quality control assistant. At that time, those jobs paid $14,000 a year, no insurance, no benefits, nothing. And in order to do that, you're going to have to make a lot of sacrifices. And in my mind, as the provider for the family, as the person who's supposed to lead, I just didn't think it was possible. My wife said, Eli, we got to do this. We're going to always regret it if we don't. And so she really gave me the courage to do the job. Now, she also gave me a deadline. She told me if after 2 years we didn't get it done, we were moving back. So after 2 years, I had to get a job.
Yeah, well, you got it done. And like I said, I mean, you're a family man first. I could tell it that you were a family man first just by hanging out with you last night. I really enjoyed hanging out with you. And I would have never thought I would have said that about the head coach at Missouri. But, man, what a time we had. But you're a family man. And I've read stories like the recital story, right? When Missouri first came down and you were not going to miss your daughter's recital. Like that type of stuff, coming from a single mom family household that had to raise 3 kids, like you being a present father in your daughter's life is very important to me. I respect that.
Yeah, there's only a couple of things that I'm entrusted to, and that's my wife and my girls. And my responsibility is to be the best I can be for them first, and then everything else comes second. And I tell my team all the time, I don't play favorites. I play who my wife and kids tell me to play. Because ultimately, I gotta win and make sure I take care of them. But there's just a few moments in life, and I didn't learn this for a while, man. When I was a GA, when I was an assistant, everybody else dictated the terms of which I needed to work. And there were things I'd have to miss. But now when I'm in charge and I can set the boundaries, and I even tell our staff, like, don't miss moments with your family.
Yep.
You know, it takes what it takes to get the job done, but that doesn't mean you can't miss from 6 to 8 and then come back at night and do it. And so, yeah, they said they wanted to interview me. My wife had told me about Addison's recital, and I just wasn't going to miss it. So it was a big deal in Boone, North Carolina, the big hall, all this. And so I went there, had the recital, snuck out, drove up to Wilkesboro, met with them, and the rest is history now.
That's awesome. You've had a lot of impactful people in your life. One of them is your father-in-law, who is a farmer.
Yeah.
You reap what you sow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of the first time that I even knew you had any farming ties is when you mentioned that on national television, that you reap what you sow.
Yeah.
And if you sow a jackass, you reap a jackass.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, I'm a Florida Gator.
Yeah.
You might have said that to somebody who was...
So we got two things to break down there. Yeah, my father-in-law is a farmer, and soybean, corn. He had a farm just across the state line in Oklahoma.
Okay, middle of America.
And man, there were good years and there were bad years, and floods and all kinds of stuff. But he was very steady, very consistent, hardworking man. Still consistent to this day. Was at the bowl game with us, and when I needed to go ask him for permission to marry his daughter, he made me come over and move irrigation pipe. And I think it was a test.
That's great.
Yeah.
And how tough is that?
It's tough crap now. All this new technology where you can like remote control, no, that's some bull crap. I had plastic. I was ripping it up and moving it.
And it's hot.
It's hot as crap. It's hard.
So Josh Allen was the first guest on this show, and he said that exact moving irrigation pipe. And he does a lot of hard work on the football field. Nothing harder than moving irrigation pipe.
There's field mice in those things.
Yep.
And I said to myself, I better get a real job, because if I have to come out and work here, I ain't gonna make it. And I think he knew, like, hey man, don't think that if you marry my daughter, you're gonna come be a farmhand.
Yeah.
Like, you ain't cut out for this. But I think watching him has really actually shaped my coaching philosophy quite a bit, because building a football team is so much like being a farmer. Like, you sow in the spring, and there's some good times, there's bad times, there's a lot of hard things you got to go through, injuries and all this stuff. But you got to keep perspective as you get ready to reap the rewards in the fall.
Yep.
And having that as my background's been fun. Now, I owe Dan Mullen an apology.
Have you given him an apology yet?
I'm going to do it right now.
Boom, let's do it.
Yeah,
All right, go
I owe
for
him
it. Here's your camera here.
I owe Dan an apology. I have a tremendous amount of respect for Dan Mullen, and I should never have said that in a way that would have got referenced back to him. Okay, Dan is not a jackass, although he did come out as Darth Vader after a game, and I came back with the response. In no way did I think that was going to have anything to do with him getting let go, and I sure hope it didn't. And then the comments after that, I was doing an interview on a Monday morning after the game, and really didn't. When you're like me and you kind of talk, you don't always weight your words as well as you should have. And if I had it to do over again, I wouldn't have done that, because I have a lot of respect for Dan Mullen.
Yeah, same. Coach Dan, there you go. So, and we keep talking about this, and it goes back to where you're from, where your father-in-law's from, where your whole family's from.
Yeah.
Small town America.
Yeah.
And when Marty Smith was on the show not too long ago, mid-season last year, he mentioned how small towns kind of built what America is. Mm-hmm. And these small towns are built with family, friends, and high school football. Mm-hmm. I mean, how important, like, in the town that you grew up, was high school football? Like, Friday nights had to be rocking and rolling.
Are you kidding me? Alma Airedales?
Yeah.
Still the best game I've ever been involved in was Alma versus Greenwood. I was able to play in that game, coach in that game, and probably as nervous of it as I've ever been coaching. 10,000 people. Stadium's only held about 4,800. But high school football is where it's at, man. You forge so many great memories. I still stay in touch with some of my high school teammates. They text me, before games and try to get me motivated. I remember the lessons. We played 2 years ago at Arkansas, and I had Coach Vines, my former head coach, on the sideline. this past year, a couple of my coaches were in the stands that I got pictures with before the game. It's just, those lessons that you learn in small town rural America are so valuable. And I think that, again, when I view the University of Missouri and why I chose this job, I try to view it as Alma High School, right? You develop the pride of your state, rooting for your football team, and that's the same way that I see, Alma High School. Man, the pride of our town was our football program, and if we had a good season, the town had a good season. And I'll say this, I talk about a lot of time for the state of Missouri. You got St. Louis and you got Kansas City. But the spirit of Missouri is really rural Missouri. And we have to, I've talked about, we have to connect both Kansas City, St. Louis, and rural Missouri to really be powerful. And that's what we did this year. 5 straight sellouts, top 10 team in the country. But our fan base, man, they really gravitated towards us. And some of our best players, man, they're rural Missouri players. They got that just hard-nosed, toughness, work ethic, stubborn refusal to quit. And, man, that's something you can build a program around.
I agree, and I love where you're going with that. Recruiting in small-town America, rural America, I feel like there's a big difference there. I think the work ethic is at the forefront of these kids in rural America and just where they grew up. And you look at your roster, Coach, last year, this past season, a lot of Georgia, Carolinas, Midwest, obviously Missouri, like you're kind of in that heart of America recruiting. What do you see there?
Yeah, we actually start with a 300-mile radius from Columbia, Missouri, and we call it a gas tank. Who can get there within a gas tank? Then the 3 direct flights from Columbia, which are Denver, Dallas, and Chicago, and then wherever players are, right? Well, wherever they might have a connection. But it starts with that 500-mile or 300-mile, and I firmly believe if you're going to win, you got to win within. You got to win within your footprint. And this year, Connor Tollison, our starting center, is from Jackson, Missouri, small town. We got an offensive lineman coming from Nevada, Missouri. We got a kid from Lebanon, Missouri, on our football team. We've got guys that have they grew up in a small town. And they know what that work ethic and that toughness is, and they're great teammates, man. They get what it means to be a part of a community and a brotherhood. And you got to have it takes all kinds, man. You got to have the Luther Burdens, who's from inner city St. Louis, who's an elite player, but man, he loves him some Connor Tollison, and that's a great connection. Mitch Walters, they have a great relationship there and really can connect at a deeper level.
That's awesome. And I want to go back to, you've had so many inspiring people in your lives. I'm going to give you a quote. I want you to tell me where this quote comes from.
Okay.
And it's about you.
Oh, great.
Not a great athlete, but a good player. Who said that?
Not a great athlete, but a good player. That sounds like my head football coach, Frank Vines. The only reason I say that, could be wrong, but the only reason I say that is he underestimated my athleticism all the time.
I'm feeling you the same way.
He played me at linebacker. If he had played me at tailback, we would have won the state championship, but no, it sounds like Coach Vines.
It is Coach Vines, and I want to talk about, who Coach Vines is, and I want to go back to what you just said about maybe not seeing your true athleticism. I'm the same way. Honestly, Coach, and I don't think I have much eligibility left. But I still can throw that rock. Have you seen Brady Cook play for us? I have, and he is a dog. And you've given Dan your apology. Brady Cook, your coach right here, he showed me the stats last night. I did not follow you as much as I probably should this past year. You're a dog.
There you go.
You're a dog, Cook, and you keep cooking.
Yeah, keep cooking. I love it.
But Coach Vines, tell me about him.
Hard-nosed football coach who loved his players but loved them hard, pushed you to be your very best, didn't accept excuses. His identity was our team's identity. And, we all wanted to play for Coach Vines. We wanted that approval of Coach Vines, our high school football coach, probably as much as we wanted approval from anybody. For him to say good job or great season, meant something to us. I got to be there right at the pinnacle of his career. We won back-to-back state championships. My junior year, we got beat in the semifinals. My senior year, I got run over by D'Angelo Williams at the goal line versus Wynn, Arkansas. That's a whole other story. I think I'm going to need a therapist for that one. But a great man and somebody I still stay in touch with today.
That's awesome. Where did sports start in your life?
Well, my dad, I got 2 brothers and 3 sisters, and my dad was a good athlete, played football at Lutheran College, and so started at a young age. I had 2 older brothers that were always doing something. I was usually the kid in the middle of a pickle game.
Were you the youngest kid?
I was the youngest boy.
Yeah.
And I always wanted to measure up to them.
Yeah.
They played baseball, they played basketball, they played football. So my goal was to always be the better player to come out. Now, my brother Jeremy's he's better at baseball and golf, but I'm better at football and basketball than him. So
Nice.
my older brother Zach, he was the oldest, so he wasn't really that good at it.
Yeah.
I mean, he played, but he didn't ever win a state championship. So we still have that over his head.
Love that. And it's not like, you played to an extent, and then look, when you started coaching in the SEC, there's only 2 coaches that did not play college ball when you got into the SEC. Eli Drinkwitz, and may he rest in peace, Mike Leach. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
And it shows just like the educational part that you had.
Yeah.
You must be a smart guy.
Yeah, that would come up in recruiting about, well, you didn't play college football. And I, usually said 2 things.
Yeah.
One, well, we didn't have huddle back then. If I'd have had huddle in a small town,
Yeah, for sure.
Not a lot of people are driving through Alma, Arkansas to find the next, great linebacker.
Yeah.
But I always tell them this, if you were going to have heart surgery, do you want somebody that's had heart surgery done to them, or do you want the best trained heart surgeon from the University of Missouri Healthcare to do the surgery for you? And to me, that's similar to coaching. I think sometimes there's too much weight given into, well, he played. Yeah, so what? So you had heart surgery.
Yeah.
Does that mean you're going to be a great surgeon?
Point, yeah.
No. Are you trained in it? Do you study it? Do you have the details to it? Is it a passion of yours? Are you constantly learning and trying to grow to get better? And I think that's really what set me apart in my journey, is this constant improvement, constant quest to try to prove myself.
Yep.
I knew that there were things that I didn't have that other people had in their background. Look, I wasn't born on third in this career. Okay. Everything that we've earned, we've had to earn the hard way.
Yep.
And it's that chip on my shoulder that I think's given us an advantage.
That's freaking awesome. And you did not start on third base. I want to actually talk about where you started.
Yeah.
Auburn.
Yeah.
Is when you start your college football career. Mm-hmm. What a year to start.
Yeah, no doubt.
Auburn. Hey, let me tell you something. That was national championship year. There's not a ton of players you can look back on and say, he was that dude.
Oh.
Hey, you know who I'm talking about.
Cam Newton.
Cam Newton was that dude.
Yeah, best leader I've ever seen in a locker room.
I'm getting chills. I'm telling you, he was.
The way he galvanized that football team. And here's the thing. There's been a lot of things said about that team.
Yep.
In fall camp, there was conversations within the offensive staff on whether or not Cam Newton should be the starter. Maybe we should go with Barrett Trotter. And I'll say this, man. Gus Malzahn's like, guys, this dude is a stud. He's like, all these times that they blow the whistle and act like he's getting touched, he ain't getting touched. Like they're going to run over him. And he had a coming out party versus Arkansas State, the first game of the year, and never looked back. But man, I think about all the different things from that season, the ups and downs, him leading the comeback versus Alabama, winning the Heisman Trophy. Man, I thought college football was easy. I thought to myself, boy, this is easy. You just show up and win football games. But man, I learned a ton of really good lessons from Gene Chizik, Gus Malzahn. 2 dominant players. You had Cam Newton and Nick Fairley.
Yeah.
And there was only 2 players drafted. 3 players were drafted off that football team. Cam Newton, number 1. Nick Fairley like 9 or 10. And then in the 7th round, there was an offensive lineman drafted, Lee Zimmett. That was it.
And that was it?
That was it.
You won the championship.
National championship.
Holy cow.
National.
That shows you that he was that dude.
Yes, we beat Alabama. All right, Greg McElroy's quarterback, Julio Jones, Mark Ingram. I mean, just across the board, dude after dude after dude. And we beat him with three NFL players.
Dude, that is fantastic.
Yeah.
I love that. So you started Auburn.
Yeah.
I'm going to skip a few years. Boom. App State. You taking a call? Are we live right now?
We are live, but no, I didn't have to take it. But I'm expecting a
big call.
Well, no, not a big call, but a couple of updates on a couple of guys we got coming in. So I just need to be on top of it.
And we can stop. Will you just
no,
tell
you're
me?
good.
I love this. Is action, man. We're in the heat
action.
of it.
We are in the heat of it.
So we're skipping a couple steps, and then you get to App State, head coach at App State. You do fantastic in the Sun Belt. Mizzou calls. Like, were there other options on the table? Like, why Mizzou, and where did that even come from?
Yeah, there were other options on the table, but out of respect to those universities, Mizzou was the right place for me at the right time.
Yeah.
There was a couple of just basic beliefs for me. At that time, the SEC East, I believe, gave me a clearer path to winning the SEC championship.
Yep.
I think it always starts in recruiting, and I felt like Kansas City and St. Louis gave us a better starting point to recruit than anywhere else that I could have gotten a head coaching job. And then I just felt like in order to win, you can't go try to beat people at their game. You got to do something different. And at the University of Missouri, it gives you an opportunity to be different because you get to recruit in the Southeast, you get to recruit with a Midwest mindset.
Yep.
You get a different type of player. You're not going day-to-day battles with LSU, Alabama, Ole Miss, Florida, Georgia. Like, all those guys are recruiting the same players. Very rarely do we cross up in recruiting on those guys. You know, we're in different battles. And so it was just an opportunity to think different, be different, act differently. And it was close enough to home that my family could enjoy coming to the games, be a part of it. But it was far enough away to keep some separation that they didn't have to live with the results every day.
Oh, yeah.
And that was big for me. You know, these jobs are really tough, and they're really scrutinized, and
damn right.
It can eat people up if you're not careful. And so this gave me a little bit of the opportunity to be close, but the opportunity to be away too.
Yeah, I agree with that. And that just kind of hit home. I mean, you think about, and this is why I love having you on the show. It's like, I see you on TV and say, oh yeah, head ball coach at Mizzou, and you have ups and you have downs. But it's like getting to know who Eli Drinkwitz is, like, just makes it so much cooler in the fact of, I mean, you're just a dude, man. And you love your family, you love the game of ball, and you love creating leaders, and it shows the results.
Yeah.
You choose Mizzou. Going into this year, you're projected 6th in the SEC East.
Yeah.
And you finish second, 11-win series, and you go into the Cotton Bowl and you beat Ohio State.
Yeah.
Like, that's getting it done, man.
You know, our motto for this year was something to prove. And, you know, we felt like we were a talented football team, but we just hadn't proved it.
Yeah.
You know, and at first it was to prove those people that picked us down as haters and, oh, man, we're going to prove those guys wrong. We wanted to prove, you know, we had people that wanted to prove they were NFL talented. And then it came to the reality of that let's not try to prove to the outside noise. Let's ignore the outside noise. Let's prove it to each other.
Yeah.
Let's prove it to each other that we're worth fighting for, that we're worth bleeding for, that we're worth putting in the extra work for. Let's prove it to each other that it's not about being the best player. It's about being the best team.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of games that we played this past year that I don't know if we were the most talented team, but we were the best team. And we came together and fought and played, and man, we had some unbelievable victories. To beat Kansas State on a 61-yard field goal, which really was the first game that it all just kind of clicked and came together. To be playing really well, run into probably the best 5-7 football team in the country at Florida, to beat them on a 4th and 17. I mean, unbelievable to
this guy
all come together like that. And then to go to the Cotton Bowl. You know, you see all the other matchups. You see all these other teams having, like, major issues, opt-outs, coaches leave, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
And, man, it was us in Ohio State, and we were, like, staying strong.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, who's going to flinch first? Who's going to have the most?
Yep.
And, you know, Marvin Harrison didn't play, and he's a tremendous player.
Yep.
But after that, and I know their quarterback had transferred, but after that, man, they had some really good players. And for us to go toe-to-toe with them as a blue blood and to end the season with that win with STP as your motto, I don't know that it gets better than that. Until next year, we got to figure out what we're going to do different.
And you talked about it last night a little bit. I mean, look, they had some opt-outs and people transfer, but Ohio State, I mean, they're always a top dog, and second string are still dogs out there. I mean, it's a good football team.
Every week, I have a coach who does a roster comparison for me. They had 25 stars and 54 4-stars, I think. And we have 1 5-star and 17 4-stars. And so the roster collection of talent. Now, maybe the people who do those stars don't always rate the players right. You know, I guess Cody Schrader probably is a no-star, but he's a damn good player, you know. So you can't always measure heart. But it was definitely a talented full roster, and we just found a way in the fourth quarter to sustain.
Get it done.
Yeah, sustain and win.
What'd y'all finish for the season? Was it ranked number 9 or 10?
Well, it hadn't come out yet, but I mean, we'll be 8 or better.
Yeah.
But
that's so exciting looking into next year of like the new dynamic of college football in the playoffs. I mean, y'all would be in the playoffs this year.
Yeah.
If it was like, how does that mindset? Like, you obviously have to change your mindset now going into a new, totally dynamic of college football because you make the playoffs.
Yeah.
With what you did this year.
It doesn't lessen the goal. You know, our goal are 3 things: chase 2 dreams, develop an elite edge, and play for championships.
Yep.
Obviously, we got the opportunity to play for the SEC championship first, but there's always in the back of your mind a path to the playoff.
Yeah.
And in the playoffs, no different than the NFL, it's all about finding the right team who gets hot in the right matchup.
Exactly
so
right.
if you get in, you got a chance. And there's all in your coaching career, there's short windows of time. Right, and we're in one of those open windows now. It's like I said on SVP, man. Nobody's waiting for us to welcome us to college football. We got to beat that door down. And
totally.
Right now, that's what we're trying to do. The way we're recruiting, the way we're coaching, the way we're leaving no stone unturned. It is really about us doing everything we can to take advantage of the time we have.
College football has changed so much, even since you got in. I mean, I think the 2 topics that everybody talks about over the last, I guess, 12 months, maybe, transfer portal and those 3 letters, NIL. What are your thoughts and how have you handled that?
Well, first off, the NIL conversation makes people uncomfortable because it's just something that hasn't been done before, and you're having to change your mindset. I personally love and believe in these players receiving NIL.
Yeah.
My belief is that we need to quit acting like it's NIL.
Yeah.
And actually cut them into it. And I think there should be revenue sharing. The 12-team playoff is a $1 billion playoff system. I think it's not possible for us to continue to outsource our paying for players through outside resources. That'd be like, I don't have a great comparison for farming right now, but I mean, that would be like a company saying, hey, we're going to go, we want you to pay for our workers.
Yeah.
You know, like that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
So why would we not do revenue sharing where the players get their piece and we quit asking the fans to pay for the product? And so I think that's something we have to explore moving forward. Otherwise, it's not sustainable. We're going to lose the greatest game in the United States of America. And I'll come back to why it's the greatest game, which actually I'll say it right now. It's because we give everybody in the country a chance to associate themselves with something that they're connected to. The problem with the NFL is it's 32 major cities, okay? It is a great business and blah, 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 but it's not as close a community as what college football is. And if we're not careful, we're going to lose that for the sake of chasing a dollar. And that's where the people in charge of college football have got to see this for what it is. Like, there was somebody said, oh, man, I wish we would just get rid of all these bowl games and go to 12-team playoffs. Man, that is insanity.
Yeah.
The 12-team playoff is a great idea, all right? But, man, how are you going to keep all these other fans engaged in the sport? There's only 12 teams. You know why it works for the NFL? Because the NFL has 32 teams and 16 teams make the playoffs. So all this comparison about, 6 and 6 teams make the bowl game. Yeah, 8-8 teams make the playoffs in the NFL. That's how they keep the fans engaged.
Exactly.
That's what we have to do, is keep our fan bases engaged by giving them a reward. Man, crud, if you don't make the 12-team playoff, but you win 9, 8, 10 games, you should get rewarded with a student-athlete experience of going to a bowl and going and visiting a small community and doing something for a community. Man, so sorry I got off on that tangent, but I do think that NIL is important. NIL is important. Our players deserve to get it. But as leaders, we've screwed this up because instead of calling it for what it is, we've tried to say, we're going to call it NIL so they can get money. No, we should pay them what they're due. As far as the transfer portal, it's good and bad. It's good and bad. It depends on which side you're on of it. The one thing that I've always struggled with is grow where you're planted, right? And just because it's not working out
bloom
for you
where
right
you're
now,
planted.
Bloom where you're planted.
There you go, J17, baby.
There you go. But just because it's not working out for you right now doesn't mean you pick up and change.
Yeah.
We're duck hunting, man. The first 45 minutes, man, we didn't see much. You just don't pick up and go sit somewhere else and hope you can. No.
Just hang out.
You hang. You wait. You continue to do the things you're supposed to do. You continue to make the calls. And guess what? The ducks show up. And I think it's the same thing with playing and coaching. Like, sometimes you have bad years. Sometimes it's not going your way. Sometimes you got to fight through the adversity to develop and grow into the best player that you can be. And I think we've given everybody too easy of an out. Whether it's coaches, players, whatever. We've given everybody too easy an out.
Those are two hot takes, man.
Yeah, that's normal for me.
I love that, man. It's great. You've got some great players on your team, too.
Yeah.
The thicker kicker, man. Dude. So, and I really, like I mentioned, I apologize. I'll be better going into this year. I didn't watch a ton of Mizzou football, but I'm going to start doing that because you got some dudes on the team.
Yeah.
But I did watch the Gator game, obviously.
And you got to see our dudes shine in that game.
I got to see the dudes shine.
Yeah.
But when you talk about having confidence, and there's a difference between cockiness and confidence.
Yeah.
When the thicker kicker walks out, dude, he's strutting, man. I mean, he's like, I'm going to go and get this thing done. And every time he walked out against the Gators and did that, I was like, he ain't missing.
Yeah.
Like, that dude's not missing this kick.
Yeah.
And, like, where does that, number one, who is that kid? I love that
Yeah,
guy.
Harrison Mevis. He's been a starter for us for 4 years. He's the thicker kicker because his build's a little bit big. But his confidence comes from his preparation. I mean, he prepares all the time. Now, I'll say this. Off the field, he's so meek and mild, and I mean, he's not that way at all. But, man, when you put a ball out there and he's got to kick it between the uprights, he's got all the confidence in the world that he's going to make it. And I have all the confidence in the world he's going to make it. You know,
me too.
In my 4 seasons, he's had 3 game winners, 61. The Gators was 37, and then Arkansas was 31 in 2020, and he's been money.
61?
61 versus K-State.
To win the game.
To win the game. It's a pretty big one. It's a pretty big Muncie ball there, Georgie boy.
You think? You're standing on business, man.
Yeah.
We stand on business. What was that like? Where'd you even find that quote? What is that all about?
So this goes back to the most important people in your team are your players and your coaches, and you got to have the respect of them, and you can't worry about anything else. So going into that game, we're going to play Tennessee. They've beaten us pretty good the previous 2 years.
Yeah.
And our players knew that we didn't play our best, and defensively we hadn't played our best. And so the motto for that week for defense was stand on business. We were going to stand on business, and that just means everybody's got to do their job. Don't worry about the scoreboard. Don't worry about the opponent, but we got to stand on business. And so I told the defense if they stood on business that I would tell the head coach that after the game. And they did it. And if you'll watch the clip closely, the defensive captain, number 6, is walking right behind me because we were beating them pretty good, and so they were all gassing me up, and they were walking right behind me to make sure I did it. And I had 2 choices. I could either look like a jackass nationally by saying it, or I could look like a jackass to my team for not saying it. And there's no choice in that. I'm gonna make sure that what I say and what I do with my team is always consistent. And if other people don't like it, man, I really don't care.
Yeah.
I really don't care, because the brotherhood in the locker room is the most important thing to me. And keeping my word to those men is way more important than what the outside noise thinks about me. People think I'm dorky. People think I'm arrogant. I don't care.
Yeah.
You know who doesn't think all that about me? Those players in that locker room. What they think about me is, I hope, they think that there's a guy who trusts and respects them and has a lot of love for them.
Yeah, and it's the players, but it's that university, man.
Yeah.
Holy cow. The fans, the staff, the leaders within the university, even outside of athletics. I mean,
Yeah.
You just got the contract extension.
Yeah.
Congrats on that.
Thank you.
I mean, that's huge.
Yeah, that's going to be good for Kaffner this year when I go to the banquet. You know, I always go to the Kaffner banquet, right?
Yeah.
And they always do a silent auction, and I always got a bid on something,
Yeah.
right? So that'd be good for and they always gas me up because they know I'm going to win one. So
Have you bought anything cool over the years? Like,
I bought a this past year I called it my Yellowstone John Dutton hat. It was a handmade Australian wool that I wore to the Cotton Bowl.
To the Cotton Bowl.
I wore it, yeah, handmade. He was working on it, and that thing takes forever.
Yeah.
And we got the Cotton Bowl, and I sent him a text and said, any chance you could have this done for the Cotton Bowl? And he got it. He gave it to me the Tuesday before we left. We left on a Thursday, and he gave it to me on Tuesday.
Dude, that is awesome.
Yeah, my John Dutton.
So you felt pretty good going to the Cotton Bowl, man. I mean, you had the hat on. You were looking good.
Yeah, I mean, I was just
because if you look good, you feel good.
Yeah, and if you feel good, you play good. But
if you feel good, you play good. And if you play good, they pay good.
They do pay good. I just felt confident in our team, and I was going to enjoy the core value number 4 for us is enjoy the journey. Life is not about a destination; it's about the journey that you're on and the people that you're on it together, and finding joy in everything you do. And I think too many times, especially in sports, we don't enjoy it. We're constantly worried about what's next or how we have to act, or am I portraying that I'm being angry enough about being here? Like, man, I'm going to have a good time.
Yeah.
You know, we went to the Cole Swindell concert on Thursday night.
Love him.
And, man, we cut it loose.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, our staff cut it loose. We had a dance. I mean, we were dancing and having a good time. And you just don't know how many opportunities you're going to have to be at the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah.
And instead of looking back going, man, I wish I would have enjoyed that more. No, we work really hard, but we enjoy it really hard too.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah,
I love that.
You got to,
and then it feels so much better if you get the result that you want. I mean, what was going through your mind when you're just sitting there doing confetti angels?
Honestly, I was just being in the moment.
Yeah,
I was being in the moment. I'd seen players do that before, and it was down there, and somebody was saying somebody should do a confetti angel, and I was like, well, why not the head football coach? You know, biggest win in our careers so far, outside of beating North Carolina when I was at App State, but that's all, or South Carolina was at App State.
Damn, beat both of the Carolinas.
Or LSU that first year. We've had some good wins. Yeah. Or Florida in the 2-point conversion. Anyway, there's a lot of fun ones so far.
That's awesome.
But not very many with confetti.
Correct.
And having to enjoy or getting to enjoy that.
I can see a lot more confetti in your future. I really can.
I don't know if there will be or won't be. I don't, and I'm not worried about it, to be honest. I'm going to do the best I can with the players that we have and the people that we have. There's a good synergy in our building right now with coaches and players.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to try to capitalize on it. I don't want to put too much pressure on anybody. I think we got to really, really refocus on what our core values are, what do we live by, and try to do those better. Do the simple things better, right? And if we can do the simple things better, I think we can continue to have a lot of success.
I love that. I want to do a segment.
Okay.
The segment's called This or That.
All right, there we go.
I'm going to ask you one and then you ask me one. I'm going to go first. What's a better feeling for you, getting an onside kick or converting a 2-point conversion?
Recovering an onside kick, the statistic probabilities of doing that are a lot harder than it would be to get a 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
Two-point conversion is around 48%. onside kicks, probably less than 15.
There you go. I love the stats. I mean, that's a good answer.
Yeah.
All right.
I just got to come up with one?
Yeah, you asked me one now.
Okay. This duck hunt or that deer hunt?
So you're asking if I'd duck hunt or deer hunt?
Yeah. What's a better hunt?
Yeah, that's a good question. I like that, Coach. And what I'm going to say to that is it's very hard for me just to sit still, as you probably know for the 24, 48 hours you've known me. And like the deer hunting is cool. I think the reward after a deer hunt might be a little bit better. I mean, you go kill a band.
Yeah.
I mean, it's freaking awesome. But the duck hunting and any type of waterfowl or even quail and dove and turkey, like you don't have to sit still.
Yep.
And you can have a good time with your buddies and you
Yep.
can build relationships and grow friendships and like you get to have a good time. So like I'm probably going duck hunt any day of the week over any type of hunting.
I got one more for you.
Okay.
Is it your turn? Do we go back and forth? Is it just one apiece?
You go for it.
Okay. This apple juice or that orange juice?
Listen, man. I'm a 6th generation citrus and cattle farmer back home. If I ever said apple juice, my grandfather might come through that camera and whoop my tail. So I'm going orange juice all day.
See, layups,
Every
man.
day.
That's what I do. That's what I do.
I got a good one too. Would you rather win a college national championship or a National Football League Super Bowl?
That's easy. College football championship.
Yeah, I love that, man.
I've never been. I have no connotation for what the NFL is. I've never been there.
Yeah.
I don't know if you knew this, but I didn't play in the NFL.
I thought you did, man.
Yeah, and
I thought you had a gold
I've
jacket.
never coached in it, so I have no real understanding what that league is or what it's about, and I don't really dream of doing that.
Yeah.
But there's a small part of me, a small window inside my heart that's got a dream big enough to dream of winning a national football or a NCAA college football national championship.
Dude, if that happened, you talk about some cigars.
I'd probably come back to Maple Ranch and go duck hunting.
Yeah.
So, I mean, keep it simple.
That'd be great. And I say this again, Coach, and I believe that will happen, and I'm not joking when I say I truly had a good time hanging out with you these last couple of days, and I got to know and learn about who Eli Drinkwitz is, and I like you a lot, man. I really do. I look up to somebody like you because you're winning football games and you're building an elite program at Mizzou, but you're building leaders within the organization and your staff too. Let's not forget about your staff.
Yeah.
You've got some dogs on that staff too.
Yeah.
So you're building out these people to be good people on and off the field, and I respect the hell out of that. And I've just enjoyed talking to you and having you on the show. I really have.
Man, it's been a real pleasure. Obviously, didn't know you coming into this, and got a chance to sit in a duck blind with you. And like you were saying, build a relationship, and obviously have a lot of respect for farmers. Talking about our goal as a program, we talk about chasing two dreams: a life with football and a life outside of the game. And for me, as an old high school football coach, a guy who believes in the mission of serving student athletes, it's so much more than winning a football game. It's about helping them develop character and a purpose outside of the game so that they can be a positive member of society. Again, it goes back to enjoy the journey. I've got great members on my staff. I don't want to be so selfish that they can't choose what their journey is going to be. I just want to come alongside of them, and while we're together, man, enjoy it, be the best we can for each other, and when there are opportunities to go do whatever they want to do, man, I hold no grudges. Wish them well, and know that while we were together, we had a great time.
I said this last night, that group that you brought into Mizzou, I mean, you're changing that program, and I mean that because I've followed, I mean, we're all in the SEC East, right? I mean, so you watch Mizzou, we play y'all every year, and it's like every single year. And now you're coming off of 11-win season, Cotton Bowl champion. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. Mizzou head football coach, Coach Eli Drinkwitz. As always, like, follow, comment, subscribe, do whatever you got to do to be like a farmer.
You may not know what they're saying, but you understand when something is wrong. Beyfortus, nirsevimab ALIP, is the first and only long-acting preventative antibody that gives babies the RSV antibodies they lack. Beyfortus is a prescription medicine used to help prevent serious lung disease caused by RSV or respiratory syncytial virus in babies under age 1 born during or entering their first RSV season, and children up to 24 months who remain at risk of severe RSV disease through their second RSV season. Your baby shouldn't receive Beyfortus if they have a history of serious allergic reactions to Beyfortus, nirsevimab ALIP, or any of its ingredients. Tell your baby's doctor about any medicines they're taking and all their medical conditions, including bleeding or bruising problems. Serious allergic reactions have happened. Get medical help right away if your child has any of the following signs or symptoms of a serious allergic reaction, such as swelling of the face, mouth, or tongue, difficulty swallowing or breathing, unresponsiveness, bluish color of skin, lips, or under fingernails, muscle weakness, severe rash, hives, or itching. Most common side effects include rash and pain, swelling, or hardness at their injection site. Individual results may vary. Ask your baby's doctor about Beyfortus. Visit Beyfortus.com or call 1-855-BEYFORTUS.